all looked better than me and they all looked younger than me because they've had some work done.
No matter how we put it, no matter how hard we fight it, eventually, facial aging will affect our attractiveness. Every feature on your face gets affected by aging. The tissues separate as the underlying fat pads diminish, our cheeks descend, our lips turn inward and shrink, and the area around our mouth develops more shadows. Wrinkles form due to a loss of collagen and elastin. All of this leads to your face no longer having that plump, smooth, and youthful appearance.
So what can you do about it? Well, if you want to remain looking as good as you can for as long as you can, I'm going to tell you what tweakments are and why celebrities get them. And if you've noticed that you're starting to look a little older or tired looking, I'm going to tell you what a liquid facelift is, how it can benefit you, and why it's important to start sooner than later. You have to see these before and after photos of real patients that were able to turn back the hands of time. And if you're wondering if you're a good candidate for this, the answer is, if you are not now, you will be someday, because no one is immune to facial aging, and we're starting right now.
Vision is one of the most important channels for aesthetic judgments, and our faces provide visual representation of what's going on with our underlying biological clock and information about characteristics we value in potential mating partners, such as health and reproductive value. And since health gradually deteriorates with increasing age, it's not surprising that people who look like younger adults are considered more attractive and healthier looking by both men and women. For women, there's a significant interaction between facial age and dimension of attractiveness. In general, men prioritize women's physical attractiveness, healthiness, and youth.
I would say at around the age of 45, I started noticing that the way I was perceived was slightly different than what I had become used to. I was sort of getting relinquished to the invisible women category.
Here's her take on how she feels facial aging affected her being seen as attractive to the opposite sex.
It dawned on me that when you walk down the street, when you're a younger woman, it's like every man passes you and goes, is she fuckable? Now you can most definitely walk down the street without anybody bounce anything off of you.
In contrast, women tend to value men's status, power, and possession of resources more than attractiveness. So to women, a more resourceful man often looks a bit more mature than a man in his 20s. This doesn't mean that facial aging doesn't affect men. It just means that in general, men can go a longer time before they may be viewed as less attractive by the opposite sex.
You can say that facial aging impacts your quality of life, and this is a huge reason that you're not seeing your most beloved celebrities age as fast. How are they able to achieve this? Through non-invasive injectables.
I fully agree and theorize with an article which eOnline quoted, "Celebrities maintain a full correction through frequent filler and Botox touch-ups, restoring a full correction before it's had a chance to fade. This approach has significant anti-aging benefits because our skin is at its healthiest when maintained in its youthful positioning and contours." Welcome to the new 50. Gone are the days when people waited till they were in their 50s or 60s to do invasive surgical procedures like facelifts. When injectables were introduced to the market, the concept changed to maintaining your youthful look. Now you can remain a timeless beauty. Countless celebrities do not look their biological age, and you don't have to look your age either, because non-invasive injectables have been a game changer. In the movie Marry Me, J-Lo plays a pop superstar who's going to marry a Grammy Award-winning artist played by singer Maluma, whose real-life age is 28 years old. J-Lo is 52 years old.
Do you think that J-Lo would have the same quality of life or get the same roles in movies if she looked her biological age? Comment below and let me know your thoughts. You may be thinking, how do you know these celebrities had injectables done? And I don't have any proof, but in general,
I know what 40s and 50s look like back in the day when there was no Botox filler or Sculptra, and it doesn't look like them.
a lot of celebrities don't admit to things, but one thing I can tell you
Is that it's not from olive oil.
I would write something about being, 52 or 53 and looking like this, and people would comment with, well, big fucking deal, J-Lo is a lot better looking than you, and she's only like 2 years younger. But all the actresses and singers and the personalities all looked better than me, and they all looked younger than me because they've had some work done.
The interesting part here is that Paulina stated that these celebrities not only look younger than her, but more beautiful than her because they get work done, which touches on the fact that she understands that facial aging has affected her beauty. I always tell people, we'll all get to a point in life where we have two choices.
Age gracefully like Paulina, or restore and maintain your youthful look with non-invasive injectables.
The important thing is if you want to go down route B, you have to start early enough.
So at what age do we start looking older? Well, that differs for each and every one of us, but generally speaking, people of African and East Asian ancestry show facial aging at a later age because of a thicker dermal layer with a more connected framework of skin tissue density, sometimes showing signs of facial aging 10 or more years later than people of Caucasian ancestry, in particular people of European ancestry. In general, the lighter the skin color, hair color, and eye color, the more susceptible someone is to photo damage, which is responsible for a significant percentage of aging of around 80%. People of darker skin colors generally have more abundant melanin, which helps protect the skin and underlying tissue against photo aging, which is why they generally have less visible wrinkles. And when it comes to sex differences, in general, men's skin is around 10 to 20% thicker than women's, which is why facial aging may not be seen as early as we see it in women.
But no one is immune to facial aging, no matter what ancestry or sex you are. It all eventually catches up to every single one of us.
So what is a liquid facelift? A liquid facelift is a non-invasive treatment which utilizes filler or collagen stimulators to restore facial volume and reduce sagging skin, shadows, and wrinkles in order to bring back a more youthful appearance. The most common areas of treatment for a liquid facelift are mid-face or cheeks, smile lines, otherwise known as nasolabial folds, lips, marionette lines, and the areas around the mouth, under eyes, temples, jaw lines, and sometimes people even do the brow bone too.
There really is no limit to which area of the face can be done, as long as the idea is that you're restoring the lost volume from aging.
Here we treated this patient's mid-face, under eyes, lips, marionette lines, the area around her mouth, and her smile lines for a total of 5 syringes. She had never had anything done before. Doesn't she just look a lot less tired? Also, that triangle of youth we spoke about in other videos is more apparent. She has less volume to her lower face. It slimmed it. This woman, like the previous patient, was also an injectable virgin. She had never had any Botox or filler.
I don't feel like my face is as youthful and plump. I feel like it's kind of like dropping a bit, and that really, really bothers me.
We treated her under eyes, mid-face, lateral cheeks, and nasolabial folds with a total of 4 syringes, and here's how she feels.
Wow, I look so much better. I really look lifted and rejuvenated. I really love the fact that the eyes are filled in. It's not so hollow. I love the fact that this is filled in, and it's still very much a natural look. This is amazing.
The biggest advice I can give if you want to remain a timeless beauty is not to wait too long before you start this. The reason is when too much elasticity of the skin tissue is lost, then you might need a facelift, or you may not be able to correct as much as you could if you'd started earlier. Aim to start when you begin to notice some of these changes. So instead of having to address many areas of the face as these patients did, you'll only have to address 1 or 2 areas of the face. And this is what's known as tweakments.
Tweakments are more along the line of what these celebrities most likely do because you never really see them age. Here are some examples of tweakments. This patient started noticing that she was looking tired. So we did 1 syringe to her mid-face and 1 syringe to her smile lines. And you can see she looks refreshed and she loved her results. We could have done 2 to her mid-face, but she was very conservative, scared to do too much, and had never gotten anything done before. So we started with 2 syringes. There's this separation that starts to happen as we get older to this area of the mid-face here, which can cause a shadowing, and it's caused by volume loss, and she has more volume loss to this left side of her mid-face right here. So we did 1 syringe to her mid-face, and now she has more of that youthful fullness back, and an enhanced light reflection to the apples of her cheek here.
Another advantage of doing tweakments is the price difference. A lot of times, let's say I have somebody come in, they're in their late 40s or 50s, and they're shocked when I tell them that we need like 4 or 5 or sometimes 6 syringes. They expected it to be 1 syringe. And I tell them maybe if they had started earlier. In general, the more volume loss, the more syringes. The less volume loss, the less syringes you need. Results are immediate, if you're using filler, that is. And there's really no major downtime other than swelling and bruising. You saw bruising happen to that second patient immediately after. Bruising can last 1 to 2 weeks, but other than that, there really is no major downtime. Longevity varies a lot and is highly dependent on which area of the face was injected, how much volume was added, and the individual. So your results may last up to 9 months to a year to a few years. It varies a lot. If you have a lot of elasticity that's lost to your skin tissue, a surgical facelift is a better option because surgical facelifts remove excess skin tissue. But even if you get a surgical facelift, you're still going to need to use filler to other areas like your lips, areas around the mouth, the marionette lines, temples, under eyes. Surgical facelifts last anywhere between 10 to 15 years. So they're very long lasting, but they don't last forever because we continue to age. So for those of you who say, well, I don't want to get tweakments done or a liquid facelift, I'll just wait to get a surgical facelift. Well, the disadvantage to that is that you're going to have to go around looking older, and that's going to diminish your beauty until you get your surgical facelift. On the other hand, if you keep up with tweakments or liquid facelift, you'll be able to maintain your beauty like your beloved celebrities. Prices vary and are usually dependent on how much product you need, like how many syringes you'll need for your treatment. So I have a question for you, but before you comment, remember, it might be easy for you to say, I'm never gonna get things done. I'm just gonna age gracefully until you see the signs of aging diminishing your beauty. Are you gonna take route A, age gracefully, or route B? You'll restore your youthful look when you notice the signs of aging. The important thing is that you do it for you and not anyone else. Don't feel the need to conform because other people are doing it. Do it because you want to look in the mirror and feel as beautiful as possible. Because you want to look like the best version of yourself for as long as you can at the age you are. Learn how you can look more naturally beautiful. Check these videos out.